Today I'm going to do a shorter video that is quite a bit unusual for me. I'm going to be tasting 3 different kinds of Garcinias that I did not grow myself. And the reason I'm just doing this video is because these 2 varieties, this is called a Bolivian Mangosteen, this is called an Imbe or African Mangosteen. Both of these I actually do grow in my greenhouse and bring outside in the summer. However, they do grow very slowly, and it might be years or never before I get to actually taste fruit from these. So I just kind of ran out of patience, and I bought these 2 with overnight shipment from Miami. And this mangosteen, which is called the queen of fruits, I just bought from the local grocery store. It's an Asian market not too far away. And these ones are not super fresh, but I don't think that they're spoiled or anything. They just don't look the freshest to me. I only bought this because I'm doing this comparison video. So the purple mangosteen, or just mangosteen, is endemic to South America, likes the really tropical areas. This is called the Bolivian mangosteen. This is more endemic to Bolivia and doesn't like it quite as hot as this one. Grows really well in Bolivia. And this one over here is from Africa. It said that they all have common ancestry. However, when South America and Africa split apart millions of years ago, or however long that was, this part of the family drifted off with Africa and kind of evolved into plants that look quite a bit different than the ones that stayed on the South American continent. So let's take a look and see how these things taste. And I just want to compare the taste, is mostly my purpose today. And so I will go ahead and start with the regular mangosteen. Hopefully this looks like a pretty white piece. The taste is sweet. This one does not have a seed inside. One thing about the regular mangosteen is that they have all these sections, and a lot of them that are smaller do not have seeds inside, and they typically have 1 or 2 sections that do have a developed seed inside. The taste is sweet, a little bit tangy. I have a hard time comparing it to other more familiar fruits. But if I was to compare, I have a piece now that has a seed. Probably not viable, because they do typically, when they import these fruits, they typically irradiate them, which basically means that they radiate them with something that kills all the organisms on them and also knocks out the seed so it cannot grow. But to me, it tastes like kind of a sweet plum. And as you can see, the seed is in here, and it has the flesh that's clinging to it. All these seem to have clinging flesh that surrounds the seeds. And moving on to the Achacha, or also known as Bolivian mangosteen. Has a very similar flavor to the purple one. But it has like a little bit of its own taste to it. It's the sweetness is probably slightly less. I'm trying to imagine what that flavor is like. These ones do have a fairly large seed in them, quite a bit bigger than the standard mangosteen. And sometimes they do have some undeveloped seeds that are not viable. I will be growing these seeds, and if anybody's interested in plants or might have some extras, just let me know. Still trying to imagine what that flavor is compared to. It's very unique. It has its own particular flavor. I would say if I had to compare it to something, it might have a slight kiwi taste to it. Very slight. There's more flesh inside here, and these Achacha or Bolivian mangosteen definitely have quite a bit of edible flesh in them. So a very desirable fruit. Some ways I actually kind of prefer this one to the standard mangosteen, but they're very similar. I would say that this one has just more of a neutral flavor, whereas the Bolivian mangosteen has that similar Garcinia flavor, but has a little bit of its own flavor. That's kind of more in the direction of kiwi. And finally, the African mangosteen, or Imbe. Let's go for it. So this one is much less sweet than either one of these two, and has kind of a citrus and apricot type of flavor. It's got that tanginess. The seed is pretty large compared to the size of the entire fruit. There's not a lot of flesh that are surrounding the seed, and the peel is really thin. It's like very soft. Let me try another taste here. Definitely has a taste of citrus, like kind of a like a Minneola Tangelo type of flavor with a hint of apricot. And for those who don't know Minneola Tangelo, it's a mandarin orange cross between mandarin orange and grapefruit, and then they took that cross and they back crossed it to mandarin. So ends up to being very juicy fruit and sweet, but with a little bit of a tang to it, more tang than mandarin orange would have. Definitely the sweetness level on this is far less than either of these two. These are pretty similar in terms of sweetness. And this one has that large seed, obviously, and these ones have pretty minimal seeds for compared to the size of all the flesh. So maybe that's probably the reason why these are cultivated worldwide, where these are kind of more localized to Bolivia and kind of just a novelty item that people in other tropical areas grow. I believe that these ones are more adaptable to non-equatorial climates. I've tried to grow mangosteen seeds before that were viable. They grow a little bit and then they just die. Whereas the Achacha and the Imbe are definitely not too difficult to grow if you have a greenhouse and know how to take care of them. Well, that's my tasting video. If you have any questions, leave some in the comments, and I will see you on the next one.